Okay, glad everyone made it here safely. We'll get you the injury update as I can here. So the following players will not practice today: Christian Benford, Terrell Bernard, Gabe Davis, Sam Martin, Taylor Rapp, and Balin Spector. And then Taryn Johnson will be limited, being in the concussion protocol. And then Vaughn and Leonard Floyd will have their normal vet rest days today. And we'll take it one day at a time on the guys that aren't practicing, continue to just see how they progress through the week here. So I don't really have an update for you in terms of who's moved ahead of who in terms of return to play. We'll just have to see how it goes today and go from there. So, and then I know Jordan Phillips' window has opened up, but he is not in a position to return right now, so he is going to stay where he's at, and we'll continue to monitor his situation.
You didn't mention Rasul or Tyrell. Are they going to be practicing?
They will be practicing today. It's a walkthrough, so they'll be out there in some capacity, yeah.
How imperative, given the conditions and knowing that the uncertainty over how the weather was going to hit, how imperative was it to have this practice, at least just a walkthrough and have the team together, given the week and how short it is?
Yeah, I'll tell you, number one, I want to thank everyone out there that's did such a phenomenal job with the roads, and we made sure we prioritized the players' safety and everyone's safety as best we could here, and just phenomenal job by everyone out there that's out there working so hard to clear the roads, and we moved our day back as far as we felt like we could, and I think that's been priority number one the entire time. So I can't be more grateful for those out there that are working to do that.
How does it give you a sense of normalcy, at least, knowing that you've played Monday night games before?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I believe, just to try and get into a routine a little bit off of the short week here, and not being able to do it at the end of last week for a couple days. So it's back in routine that way.
Was everyone able to make it to the facility?
I'm sorry?
Was everyone able to make it to the
Yes.
facility?
Yep.
What were those discussions like this morning waking up? Was it kind of like last night? I guess what was it kind of like getting everyone here?
Right. So our operations team, Matt Warswick, Brendan Rowe, Kevin Meegank, they were on it. Jeff Mazurek last night with anticipating the snowfall over the evening hours, and knowing that we would have to potentially move things back, and we slid it back even yesterday to begin with. So that helped just give us a cushion in the morning here a little bit, and so everyone was able to get in, and here we are. So, but it's listen, football players or not, you want to make sure that you're as smart as we can be with making these decisions and putting everyone's safety first.
I know you didn't have a specific update on Terrell, but like we mentioned yesterday on Zoom, it looked like really severe. Is there any hope that maybe it wasn't as severe as it looked when it happened?
Yeah, I think there's hope. It's just he's in meetings this morning, and it looked in the way he was carted off. So I'm thankful that it could have been way worse, right? So we'll just take it one day here at a time.
Sean, with all the injuries that you guys have dealt with, especially at linebacker, what can you say about the job that Bobby Babish has been able to do getting that group ready regardless of who's in there?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He really has. He's never flinched once when faced with the situations that he's faced over the course of the season, and from losing Matt to T-Dot to potentially TB, at least through the back half of that game, and AJ out there. And I think that says a lot about that speaks to the position group, right? When the coach is unfazed by it, although certainly empathetic with those that are injured, that just sets the tone and the table for the room and the team.
What have you learned about Dorian since he got here and they have a big role this week?
Yeah, I think we're still finding out, right? And that's natural for a first-year player, and to continue to find out his skill set and watching him develop. And I thought he did some pretty impressive things on the back half of Monday's game. And then, he's done some good things for us in the past, too. So I'm looking forward to watching him develop over the course of his career here.
What's your take on- oh, go ahead.
The decision to bring Matt Hoff back to the practice squad, obviously there's familiarity with the team,
Yeah.
but just, what went into that decision?
Well, Sam's situation, just not really sure where that's going to end up, and so it gives us some flexibility there, and there's no really change at this point to Sam's status. We'll just see how that goes as well.
What do you make of this rivalry that's developed between the Chiefs and the for the seventh time in 4 years? And what's it indicate, and how fitting is it that it's these two teams meet yet again?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to who they are as an organization and the success that they've been able to have and then sustain. It's a credit to their organization from top down, and including Andy and his staff, the Hunt family, and I just think overall that with where we've been able to get to, I think it's starting to say a lot about who we are and what we've been able to achieve and then sustain as well. So, it's I think there's two good organizations and teams that have earned the right to be here.
Could you have envisioned when Andy was saying, you've got to go, as difficult as that was, that you two would be here like this?
I think I knew at the time that, I just think when you go through a setback, it's how you handle it. And I've just, over the course of my life and my career, I think you double down on work ethic, belief in yourself, and making certain adjustments, and then you find your way back, and you find your way, hopefully, back to beyond where you were before. And so, in some ways, I'm extremely grateful for it.
I know you never know how a season's going to go. Does it feel like you guys believe that every year you're going to have to go through the Kansas City Chiefs to try to accomplish what you ultimately want to do?
Well, they're the reigning Super Bowl and world champs, and they've been that. They've been in many Super Bowls now over the last few years and AFC Championship games. So, all you can do is control your level of play, right? We can't control their level of play. They're a phenomenal football team with a phenomenal coach and a phenomenal quarterback and some phenomenal players as well. So all of that we can't control. What we can control is us and where we're trying to get to and our level of play. And that's where our focus needs to be.
Sean, from a defensive perspective, when you're getting ready to face them, has it changed at all, trying to get ready for them defensively? Like, in the past, it seems like it's always been, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and, big explosive plays over the top, and now, they've got Isaiah Pacheco over there. Has it evolved, game planning defensively, maybe the last, year or two for them?
It has. It's, just credit to Andy, credit to Brett Veach, their general manager. They're never short on talent. It seems like a player leaves and you think you can catch your breath a little bit, and here they bring in some new players that do some very valuable things for them in the running back position, as you mentioned, number one. And, it seems like they're never short on pass rushers, and that's some of what I grew up around and that approach in Philadelphia under Andy. And so, he's always going to have a well-stocked team, and they're going to have players at those valuable positions, like you mentioned.
Heather mentioned Isaiah Pacheco. They didn't have him the first time around. What issues does a player like him present in defense?
Yeah, he gives them a lot of energy. He's extremely tough. We faced him last year, I believe it was, and then he was a younger player than he is now, and now he's where he's at, and very, very important piece for that offense. And we have a lot of respect for his game, and the energy he brings to that football team. And so that's just another piece of now with that running game that they've got going, where they become even tougher to handle.
Sean, you've been through a lot of rivalries, I'm assuming, in your career. What is this one like? How would you describe this rivalry with the Chiefs?
I think it's built on respect. I don't really know Josh's and Patrick's relationship, but it seems like they certainly respect each other off the field, and then it seems like they have a great amount of respect for each other on the field as well. And I think that's great for the fans. It's great for those two as individual players as well. And they're at the tops of their profession, right? Overall, again, I think it's a credit to certainly them, as I mentioned, but also to where we've gotten to as an organization and a team. And but I think at the same time that they've been able to win world championships now, and so that's they're doing a lot right in that inside that building, and led by Andy and Patrick for sure.
Did you guys consider any other punters, or was it pretty much just off?
Well, we look at everything. Brandon does, and so there's probably a lot more names than I even know that he was considering. Familiarity is important, and we have a lot of confidence and faith in Matt.
Banged up as your defense is, do you think this team, having gone through the losses in Arrowhead, and a majority of these guys are here, do you think this team is better prepared to handle the Chiefs at home, especially?
Well, again, I think the focus really needs to be on our execution. The focus needs to be on what we can do and playing to our strengths, and us doing the things you need to do to win a football game. So that's really where our focus is.
You mentioned pushing back stuff to start.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That first game back in Arrowhead kick-started the run that you guys have been on here to close the regular season and win playoffs. What do you think your team found in that game specifically that you guys have been able to carry over during this recent stretch?
Yeah, I feel like the guys just really started to love one another, really lean in to one another, and play together, and that has then formed a little bit of an identity, and I think that's I believe it even started before that, to be quite honest. So, but sometimes you don't see the results right away as things are happening kind of underneath the water there. So, I credit the players and the staff for really generating that, and then some of that happening very organically as well.
You mentioned having to push things back today. Do you have to also finish up early, or are there any adjustments you're waiting for the rest of the day?
Yeah, we're not sure. I mean, we heard, at least the last update I have is that it may get more snow again tonight overnight. So we'll reset the table tonight and keep working on the game plan and also work on our weather plan here.
I asked you about Josh Allen's turnovers a couple of weeks ago, and you said if I could predict it or if I knew, I'd fix it. When you go back and look at this game and how clean he was in that area, did you take anything away from it and kind of pinpoint why he was able to do it?
It was huge, right? It was huge, and we were +2 in the turnover differential, and if you're that, you've got given yourself a pretty good chance to win the game. So I think just overall, it's that becoming habit for our entire football team, and if you continue to work on it, then eventually it does become habit, and that's what we're trying to do in a lot of areas right now.
Sean, since Dawson has come back from his injury, you guys
This will be my last one. I got to get going now.
have kind of dialed back having him and Dalton on the field at the same time from where it was early on in the season. What kind of went into that?
Just the ebb and flow of a game plan and week to week, really, Joe. It's nothing we're trying to do differently. It's just more overall, Joe, and the offensive staff's feel and kind of the rhythm of the offense more than anything. Thanks, guys.